preventing supporters of the two parties fighting it out in the streets. This simple idea has gained Africa-wide admiration and attention, and some countries have actually adopted it. I think Nigeria has had its own way of devising it or designing it and to fit its context as a powerful federal system and its own institutions. But many countries are doing it now. So as we gathered here, we were looking at how we could also not just be doing peace pact every elections, especially presidential and parliamentary elections, the national elections. For us at IDEG, and from the disciplines we look at things, we think that our system has gradually turned into an exclusionary governance system. Many people feel they are not part of it. The two parties are strong alternate power, and yet we also see that there are many who feel their policies and the initiatives they've taken do not address the issues inclusively of everybody. But we've also been able to tell people that the two presidents and their parties, 2016 or 2017 to 2020, and now to 2024, and President Mahama and his predecessor, President Atta Mills, all decided that probably constitutional reform would pave the way for us to see how to design a more inclusive system. This has gone on for a while, and we saw progress being made after 2017, that's the 2018, when the attempt to go to the president went to Parliament for constitutional amendments to take place. The two leaders cooperated, it's well documented, but yet we couldn't go through. And this agenda is still on the table. We think it is important that this agenda is advanced. And without the two parties working together, it's going to be difficult. The Constitution itself asks for consensus to make these changes. So at this forum, we brought our two leaders together, hoping that their statements and their commitment to peace, to resolving issues at the courts, the Supreme Court, and the parliamentary level as well, where there are, or a constituency level where there are disagreements, we've seen quite a lot of reforms taking place. Both at the judiciary level, we've been witness to some of the presentations, and we've also seen how our electoral processes, the register and others, have all been subjected to critical reviews and demands. And for that matter, we have leaders of the institutions here to speak for themselves. So this meeting, we hope, would usher us in to a period of reforms that will make our system more inclusive. Post-election, we should feel that every Ghanaian feels that at the local level and at the central level, we are able to strengthen our institutions and meet the needs of our people in a sustained manner and a sustainable manner, irrespective of election outcomes. It is with this in mind that we have supported the Peace Council to convene this Peace Pact event. And we hope that the deliberations here would actually facilitate us going through a peaceful elections under the rule of law and being able to launch a new phase where unfinished business of amending our constitutions, strengthening institutions, as both parties have done and have stated in their manifestos, will come to fruition through consensus building. Of course, all depends on the outcome of the elections and who takes the lead on that. On that note, we are happy the candidates are here, and we welcome all of you to the conversations we are having here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that message from IDEG, Dr. Emmanuel Akwete, Executive Director. Now, it's my pleasure and honor to invite Reverend Dr. Ernest Edujemfi, Chairman of the National Peace Council, to give his remarks.
His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, and the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, His Excellency, the former President and the presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, presidential candidates of the minority parties for the 2024 general elections, the Chief Justice, Her Ladyship Gertrude Araba Isaba Saki Tokonu, the African Union High Representative for Silencing the Gun, Dr. Mohammed Ibn Chambers, Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Mrs. Jane Adukwe Mensah, the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Akufu Dampare, officers of the security agencies here present, Excellencies and members of the Diplomatic Corps, ministers and former ministers of state, members of the Council of State, members of Parliament, eminent members of the National and Regional Peace Councils, the immediate past Chairman of the National Peace Council, Most Reverend Emmanuel Asante, our revered religious and traditional leaders, distinguished election observer missions present, leadership of the political parties present, distinguished guests, the media, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the governing board of the National Peace Council, I welcome you all to this important ceremony. The signing of a peace pact between the presidential candidates vying for the high office of the President of the Republic of Ghana today is aimed at ensuring peace in our country before, during, and after the 2024 general elections. We are grateful to all stakeholders who have graciously accepted our invitation to witness this occasion. The introduction of the Presidential Peace Pact before elections in Ghana has become a model for the rest of the world. What we are therefore doing today is a testament to something that began several years ago. And we are grateful to all those who have made it possible for this occasion to happen. Ghana's credential as a stable democracy has been attested to locally and internationally. The country since 2019 has been ranked as the most peaceful country in West Africa, except 2023, when Ghana became the second most peaceful country in the sub-region. Regardless of these successes, the country is still grappling with some democratic deficits, including unresolved conflicts, election-related violence, misinformation, disinformation, and fake news, among others. Despite these challenges confronting the country, Ghana has been resilient. Excellencies, after 8 general elections and successful transferring power from an incumbent political party to the opposition party since 1992, gives us hope as citizens of Ghana that no matter the challenges we face, we will see through. We have successfully used democratically tested out-of-court mechanisms such as preventive diplomacy, dialogues, consensus building, negotiation to address some of our major conflicts. And when we are unable to settle them through these approaches, we have used the course to ensure that the peace of Ghana is sustained beyond elections. Excellencies, since the inception of the Fourth Republic, Ghana has seen considerable improvement in her electoral journey. The Electoral Commission, the political parties, the police service, and the media all improved their methods of operation in terms of capacity and delivery. There have been significant reforms in the election calendar and the general conduct of elections, which have enabled the organization of peaceful, transparent, and credible elections. It is indeed our collective duty as citizens of Ghana to ensure that our elections are conducted in a free, fair, and transparent environment. Excellencies, It is in furtherance of sustaining the peace of Ghana that the National Peace Council was established to facilitate and develop mechanisms for conflict prevention, management, resolution, and to build sustainable peace in the country. It must be said that since the passage of the National Peace Council Act in May 2011, the Peace Council has taken significant steps in ensuring peace in Ghana both during and after elections. After the 2020 general elections, the Peace Council organized a national dialogue with key stakeholders, including political parties, civil society organizations, the Electoral Commission, security services, Parliament, judiciary, academia, etc., to mobilize support for increased avenues for dialogues and consensus among stakeholders, to build transparency, accountability, credible and peaceful election in the country. These efforts, I'm happy to report, are yielding significant results. The National Peace Council contributed significantly to the processes leading to the passage of the Vigilantism and Related Offences Act 2019, Act 999, ahead of the 2020 general elections. The Peace Council has provided a platform for dialogue among all the political parties. In July this year, all the major political parties, including the NPP and NDC, signed the Political Party Code of Conduct document committing to denounce any politically motivated violence and to respect the Code of Conduct. To give the necessary effect to the Code of Conduct, the National Peace Council continued by establishing a monitoring committee to oversee the implementation of the Code of Conduct, to ensure that political parties and other relevant stakeholders adhere to the goals and objectives set out in that document. It is sad to note that even though all these activities are undertaken with the involvement of people in leadership roles in the political parties, it appears that majority of their grassroots are still unaware of the issues discussed and decisions made. Excellencies, the Peace Council can report that it has offered alternative dispute resolution training, ADR training, for all the political parties in the country, and has encouraged them to set up conflict management mechanisms within their political parties to address conflicts that are internally generated as one sure way of dealing with politically associated violence. We are glad to note that the major political parties are responding well to this initiative. Excellencies, we would like to report that ahead of this year's general elections, the Peace Council has reached out to over 200 constituencies in the country to encourage the use of consensus building, tolerance, dialogue, and negotiation to address political differences. Currently, with the kind support of UNDP, the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, and ECOWAS, our regional peace councils are holding dialogues with parliamentary candidates in 50 constituencies that we have identified as hotspots to commit to peace by signing similar peace pacts at the constituency level. Today, we are gathered here in furtherance of our country's peace and democracy to witness the signing of the 2024 Peace Pact. The presence of all the candidates seeking the highest office of the President of the Republic demonstrates a clear message about their commitment to the peace and stability of this country. I have always argued that Ghana is blessed to have leaders who will always choose the nation above their personal and party interests when it matters the most. Today's ceremony is a testament to the commitment of the presidential candidates to peaceful elections and a peaceful country. It is a commitment to the fact that when we are not satisfied with the outcome of any election results, we will not motivate our supporters to resort to violence, but will use the appropriate means to resolve our concerns. Resorting to violence is inimical and must be avoided at all costs. It is my hope that signing this pact will not be just another public show, but that all our aspiring presidential candidates will play their roles effectively, particularly after the declaration of the election outcomes on December 7, 2024. We would like to appeal to the political parties and the presidential candidates vying for the high office to refrain from doing anything that will prop their followers into violence. Hate speech and other rancorous utterances must be checked and avoided at all costs to ensure peace. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, after December 7th, the people of Ghana will be dealing with two positions in most families: those who won the elections and those who lost. Those who win must know that their victory is only for 4 years, and therefore should be gracious in their victory. I would like to advise those who win that they should be measured in their celebrations. To those who will be unsuccessful in the elections, I appeal to you, do not grieve for long, for after 4 years, you will have another opportunity to come back, this time in a stronger position. Once again, the National Peace Council is grateful to all partners and stakeholders, particularly the Institute of Democratic Governance, IDEC, the UN family in Ghana, the USAID, Foreign Commonwealth Development Office, diplomatic community, who have contributed in diverse ways for the National Peace Council to come this far. On behalf of the National Peace Council Board, I would also like to extend our sincere gratitude to all parties and their presidential candidates for committing to this process. Let us all remember that achieving a peaceful Ghana is a collective responsibility, and we continue to count on all of you to achieve this. God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Another round of applause, please. Before we move to the next section of the program, I would like to acknowledge some personalities. The first is the National Chief Imam, Sheikh Dr. Osman Shaributu. Sir, you are most welcome. Thank you for coming. And then we have the immediate past chairman of the National Peace Council, the Most Reverend Professor Emmanuel K. Asante. Many thanks for being here, sir. All right, so we've reached this point where we bring you an interlude. The interlude will be in the form of a musical performance by Jack Yankra and friends. It's a song with title, My Ghana, Your Ghana. My Ghana, Your Ghana is a powerful anthem promoting peace and unity. It aims to inspire hope, harmony, patriotism, and national pride. This rendition features an impressive coalition of 17 influential personalities and 16 school children, including notable figures like Fred Amugi, Giftianti, and Suleimana Brahima. My Ghana, Your Ghana seeks to foster national development and growth. Please join me in welcoming the composer Jackie Ankra, along with her team members Diana Hobson, Kwesi Otten, Ife Grace, and friends. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome them with a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Nime Kename Nananum, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is such an honor to be here this afternoon singing at the Peace Pact. Long live Ghana, your Ghana, my Ghana, our Ghana. God bless our homeland. These are my friends. It's such an honor to be here this afternoon singing at the Peace Pact. Long live Ghana, your Ghana, my Ghana, our Ghana. God bless our homeland. These are my friends, Diana Hobson, Mary Gansa, Ella Somwa. The rest of my friends you will see in the video. Enjoy our song.
Where the great white river flows was the mighty Sikakrom, a land rich in natural beauty, wealth, power, and sheer abundance. One evening, Papa Mensah, the village sage, is resting in his lazy chair and falls asleep. Two young people walk up to him and snatch away his pillow, waking him up in fright. This unkind and reckless act threw two factions into endless fights and war. The king and queen's authority could not stop their rage. They fought and wasted all their strength. The once vibrant village became lifeless, thereby acquiring the name Wetimi Wakami Village. Not stop their rage. They fought and wasted all their strength. The one This is the land we love and cherish. There's no place else we can call our own.
And all together we stand for Ghana.
Let's high the flag of Ghana. Standing together as one. Ghana will rise forever. Freedom and justice forever. Let the love within me raise the love within you. Ghana will shine forever. Ghana will shine forever.
My Ghana, your Ghana, our Ghana, together forever as one. Ghana will rise forever. Unity, dignity, ever. Let the peace
Within me, touch the peace within you.
Ghana will shine forever.
Ghana will shine forever. My Ghana, your Ghana, our Ghana, together forever as one. Let peace prevail, let peace prevail, let peace prevail. East and west and north and south, all together as one. Let peace prevail.
Let peace prevail, let peace
prevail, let peace prevail. East and west and north and south, let peace prevail, let peace.
So why don't we let peace prevail? 'Cause God is all that we have. Because God is all that we have.
Ghana, hear me, Ghana, hear me, Ghana, hear me,
Ghana will rise forever. Freedom and justice forever. Let the love within me raise the love within you.
Ghana will shine forever.
Shine, shine, shine.
Together forever as one. Ghana will rise forever.
Yes, we will rise. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Thank you so much for that inspiring interlude. Now we've reached a stage where we hear remarks on the theme, Pursuing Peaceful Elections, Nonviolence and Justice. The first to give her remarks will be Mrs. Jane Edukwe-Mensah, Electoral Commission Chair. Yes, please.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, Your Excellency, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, former President of the Republic of Ghana, Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, Justice Gertrude Tokenu, the Chief Imam, His Eminence Sheikh Osman Shaributu, the Chairman of the National Peace Council, Dr. Ernest Edu-Jemfi. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. I thank God for making it possible for us to witness this historic moment in our country's history. And here I'm referring to the signing of the Peace Pact by presidential candidates of the 2024 presidential election. Indeed, this is the day the Lord has made, and we rejoice and we are glad in it. The signing of the Peace Pact marks an important building block in our nation's development. The very act of signing the Peace Pact is symbolic in that it signals to all citizens and supporters of our presidential candidates that they are indeed committed to ensuring that Ghana remains intact before, during, and after the election. It also symbolizes that our presidential candidates have put Ghana first, before their own interests and aspirations. Hence, my assertion at the start of my presentation that this is a historic moment in Ghana's development. As a commission, I'm pleased to note that we have walked the talk of peace. Mindful of the fact that attaining peaceful electoral outcomes will depend on our actions, we have right from the start of our electoral processes consciously operated and carried out our activities and conducted ourselves in a manner that would ensure peace before, during, and after the election. In doing so, we have embraced three essential ingredients, which in our view contribute to peaceful processes and elections, namely transparency, responsiveness, and inclusiveness. And we have applied these elements in all our activities to date. And so right from the start of our electoral calendar until now, we have imbibed these three essential ingredients into everything that we do. Please permit me to mention and share a few examples. Registration of voters. Before the commencement of the voters' registration exercise, we at the Commission provided extensive information about the exercise to all our stakeholders through our radio and TV advertisements. Indeed, we carried out extensive ads in the English language, 10 major dialects, on all TV and radio stations across the country. This inclusive approach saw eligible voters take their turn to register at all our registration centers throughout the country. We also ensured, in the spirit of inclusiveness, that our centers were accessible to all our stakeholders. I'm happy to note that our youth, old, and persons who had not previously registered, as well as persons with disabilities, avail themselves at our various registration centers. In the spirit of transparency and accountability, we provided our political party agents with the start-of-day reports and the end-of-day reports. These reports gave them a good account of the number of persons who had been registered across the country on every given day, and allowed it to confirm it with their own statistics they had documented. Additionally, we provided regular infographics on registration data to the citizenry. We shared this on our various platforms, i.e., our website, our Facebook and Instagram pages on a regular basis, making it possible for interested citizens to know with near precision the number of persons registered in the country on any given day. It allowed them to drill down to indicators including the number of male-female voters who had registered across the country on any given day. It allowed them to have information on the number of persons with disabilities, number of first-time voters, among others. Throughout the entire process, we held several press conferences and engaged actively with the citizens. We took their concerns on board and provided solutions to a number of the concerns that came up. This level of transparency and openness helped to reduce the suspicions that usually characterize the voters' registration exercise. We applied the same ingredients of transparency, responsiveness, and inclusiveness as part of our exhibition, our voters' exhibition exercise. In addition to exhibiting the physical copies of the provisional voters register in the 40,000 plus polling stations, we added a second layer of verification by exhibiting the provisional voters register online at a fee of 50 pesos per verification. In the spirit of responsiveness, when citizens raised concerns about the fee, we immediately went to work and waived the 50 pesos fee initially charged and made it possible for citizens to verify their details at no cost. This arrangement equally reduced the burdens of citizens and enabled them to verify their details in the comfort of their home. And in all of this, we received the concerns of the citizenry and were timely in responding to their concerns. Again, in the spirit of transparency, we also promptly addressed concerns raised on the provisional voters register by a section of our society. When it was impossible or difficult to resolve those concerns, we called an IPAC meeting to discuss the concerns with all the political parties registered in Ghana. We opened up the IPAC meeting to the public and enabled them to follow the discussions on the provisional voters register. The presentation from our IT team and the ensuing discussions helped to lower the tensions and suspicions around the register and restored its credibility. By discussing the concerns in an open and transparent manner, and by carrying the citizens along as a result of the live coverage of the proceedings, tensions and suspicions around the provisional voters register were eliminated and the peace of our nation was restored. We applied again the same elements of transparency, responsiveness, and inclusion in our nomination and balloting processes. As many of you will attest to, we opened up all these processes to the general public with the help of our media partners. The opening up of these processes to the citizenry helped to eliminate the usual stories around the fixing of ballots. And we are confident that citizens are now well informed as to how the ballot positions are determined. We are aware that citizens now know that it is the political party agents themselves who pick the order in which they will appear on the ballot paper and not the Electoral Commission. The story is no different in the case of the printing of ballot papers and the results declaration forms. For the first time in our history, we took our media partners on a tour to the printing houses as part of our efforts to keep the citizens well informed. This approach brought to the fore the engagement and the involvement of the political parties in the printing process and demonstrated the accountability and transparency mechanisms we have built into our printing cycle. We educated the citizenry on the ballot statistics that we provide to the political parties. And we also informed them about the serialization process and the fact that the Commission provides serial numbers of all ballots to the political parties as part of the printing process. This openness and information shared enabled citizens to have a first-hand view of the fact that every single ballot that goes out into the field is accounted for, in the sense that political parties are aware of the serial numbers and they are able to track and account for it. The ballot statistics also provided to the political parties also enables them to know the number of ballots that each polling station should have. And this builds confidence into our processes and leads to the assurance that the Commission cannot add a single ballot or take away a single ballot to the ballots provided at the various polling centers. Ladies and gentlemen, in the same spirit of accountability and transparency, when in the course of printing our ballots, it was discovered that we had issues with the serialization of ballot papers from the Ahafo and the Volta regions. We promptly informed our key stakeholders, i.e. the political parties and the citizenry, and involved them in the destruction of the affected ballot papers. With the help of our media partners, we captured the entire processes leading to the destruction of the faulty ballots by burning, and brought this information to the doorstep of citizens. Today, the destruction certificates signed by the political party agents, the security agents, and the Electoral Commission staff are available on all our platforms, our websites, and our social media pages for all to verify. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, our application of the 3 ingredients in all our operations has contributed significantly to reducing the tensions and building confidence around the Electoral Commission's processes. As a Commission, I assure you that we will continue to apply these ingredients of transparency, responsiveness, and inclusiveness in all our activities through to the election day and beyond. On behalf of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, I pledge that my team and I will continue to conduct our activities in a way and manner that will ensure peace before, during, and long after the 2024 election. The processes we will employ on election day and in the days aftermath are robust, transparent, and inclusive. The results we will declare will reflect the will of the citizens as expressed at the polls. It is a well-known fact that elections are won or lost at the polling stations. It is at the polling stations that voters vote. It is at the polling stations that the votes are counted. It is at the polling stations that the results are documented on the pink sheets and signed by all the agents of the presidential candidates. And it is at the polling stations that the outcomes of the presidential election are announced. These are the results that will be collated at the constituency, regional, and national collation centers. And it will be in the full view of the agents of the political parties who will go on to sign the various results declaration sheets. Indeed, these are the results that we at the Electoral Commission will declare, and no other results. We therefore entreat our distinguished presidential candidates to accept the outcomes of the elections. That is the will of the people, which we will declare. At the end of the day, when the results are declared by the Electoral Commission of Ghana, Ghana should remain standing as a beacon of democracy in Africa. We each have a role to play to ensure this happens. God being our helper, we at the Electoral Commission of Ghana will do everything in our power to abide by the oath that we made to God and to the people of Ghana when we were sworn into office in 2018. May God bless his beloved nation, Ghana, and make her great and strong. Thank you.
Thank you very much, EC Chair. Now we have a statement from Dr. George Ekufu Dampare, Inspector General of Police and Chairman of the National Election Security Task Force.
Your Excellency, the Vice President, Your Excellency, the former President, Madam Chief Justice, distinguished ladies and gentlemen at the high table, distinguished presidential candidates, the clergy, the members of the diplomatic corps, leadership of various political parties, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my colleagues from the National Election Security Task Force, friends from the media, Ghanaians across the country and beyond. I made this brief statement on behalf of the National Election Security Task Force. We want to thank the organizers for the opportunity given to us to also be part of this very historic event. And we will start by commending the political parties in general and the presidential candidate in particular, and by extension, their followers and the generality of Ghanaians for how we have conducted ourselves since this election process began, making it to be less tense, minimal, next to zero violence, and therefore so far where we've gotten to, making it one of the most peaceful election processes in our history as a country. And we commend you. It's about what you have done, which has also made our work easier, and we are proud of you. But the important point is the fact that the job is not done. It is still a work in progress. And in our traditional circles, when there is food to be cooked, you cannot half cook it and start eating it. So we have eaten it in advance in terms of appreciating how far we have conducted ourselves as Ghanaians. Let us make sure that the cooking is complete, and when we are eating it, we'll eat comfortably to the glory of God and also for the benefit of the generation that will come after us. So let us finish hard by doubling our efforts, and let us continue to walk the talk so that at the end of the day, our actions will speak louder than our words. Also, we want to, on behalf of my colleagues at the National Election Security Task Force, to give you this pledge. We are committed to ensure that we take our constitutional mandate of ensuring that there is peace, security, law, and order for the rest of the period of the election, the post-election period, and beyond. So that our beloved country, which is the only one that we can come in and out without a visa, will continue to be at peace with itself, because there is no place like home. And with this commitment, we want to let you know that we will not be, and I want to emphasize, we will not be the source or allow ourselves to be the source of any disturbances that will corrupt the peace that we cherish so much. And we also urge all the stakeholders to also play their part so that they are also not the source or allow themselves to be the source of anything that disturbs the peace of this country. Because the country, we are holding it in trust for the next generation. As our forebears held it in trust, and their departure, they left it in our hands to keep it in safe, in peace, for it to be handed over to the next generation. We cannot, Your Excellencies, we cannot disappoint, and we cannot disappoint them. With that said, we want to tell you that this pledge that we've made, it is not mere words. It has been very intentional and purposeful. Why do we say so? When we assumed office as a team, we decided to find out what has been the issue, that all the time whenever election is conducted, there are violence, there are tensions to a level that keeps all of us on tenterhooks. So we decided to do a baseline analysis. And upon that analysis, realized that there are a lot of lessons to be learned. And then going forward, that the lessons will be used to inform our strategies towards providing security during elections. The first lesson that we learned was that we have failed to mainstream election security, and therefore election security is always seen, Your Excellencies, as an event inside of a process. And by that action alone, how can you get up in the next day and do something and go to sleep and then come back again wanting to do it? We are always starting afresh as if we have not done it before. So we decided to mainstream election security with the establishment of a permanent department for purposes of managing elections in this country. And by this, I mean all elections, even including school and church elections. So that at the end of the day, election security becomes part of policing and part of security in this country. And this is what we have been able to achieve. In addition to that, realize that there was no blueprint for looking at election security holistically and strategically beyond one election. So we decided also to develop a blueprint that will take care of elections for the next 30 years to come. So as we speak, we have a blueprint in place that will deal with our elections for the next 30 years to come and beyond. And by that action alone, we are demonstrating to the whole Ghanaians and the generality of Africa and the world that we, from the security point of view, have decided by our action, by that document, looking forward for elections in the next 30 years, mainstreaming our democratic dispensation so that there's no turning back in this democratic journey. With that done, let me briefly let you know the things we put in place with all this strategic focus into the elections. First, if you want to see the results that are coming out from this baseline analysis, from this mainstreaming of election security, and from this holistic blueprint towards election in the next 30 years, these are the records. On our watch, we have 3 major by-elections. And we did not pass the verdict. You did. And he said that those by-elections, in terms of its peace, security, and orderliness, it was first of its kind, in the history of our democratic dispensation. That is the result of making sure that you re-examine your strategies and change course, because you cannot continue to do the same thing over and over and over again and expect different results. Again, Your Excellencies, with the same implementation of the blueprint, you've seen that you virtually gave all your internal elections to us, and all the political parties, with no exception, comes to us and say that it is in your hands, police and the other security agencies. We don't even want any of our internal security people to play any role. And the assurance that even we got, which gives us a lot of comfort, and also a registration of confidence in us, is that if anybody comes around and mess up, deal with him or her in accordance with law. And that we delivered. So we've walked the talk with all the by-elections, we've walked the talk with all your internal elections, and you yourselves at various fora give us the pass mark. We appreciate that, but we will not allow that also to eat the better part of us, because we know that it is a job that we need to continue doing in service of the good people of this country. Now coming to the election, the general elections, we have also been walking the talk at every stage of the election process, from EC registration, transfer of votes, exhibition of the register, and all that up to the movement of logistics. We've played the part that we're supposed to play in a manner that has also made us comfortable in terms of looking forward what is ahead. The few other issues that are left is the next 1 week, the rest of your campaign. It is our prayer that you continue to conduct ourselves in the way you have been doing, and we will also continue to provide the security that you need in ensuring that you go about telling people what you want to do when you have the opportunity to lead. In terms of the D-Day, as it was said, the blueprint, the D-Day, out of the blueprint, the D-Day planning that we've done, it spans 5,400 and over pages. Very detailed deployment strategy at the polling stations, at the collation centers, rapid response, and post-election activities in terms of the security arrangement for the investiture of the next government. So our assurance is clear. We are ready. We are very committed, but we need your help. We need your help, both in the form of prayer and also in the form of playing your role as an individual, as a political party, and as all the stakeholders involved in this process. So that at the end of the day, everybody will be satisfied with the outcome of the elections and everybody will accept the process. But we want to also assure you that the elections are having 12 candidates at the presidential level. Only one will win. The rest will have to try another time. 801 parliamentary candidates vying for a position of 276. Only 276 will win. That will not be the end of the world. In effect, those who will win and those who will lose at a point in our lives will come nowhere near those positions again and will fade away. But Ghana will continue to be Ghana for the sake of the rest of our lives and then the children that we so love. So we should remember this. We want to plead with you. We are overcommitted to make sure that at the end of the day, we will be given the pass mark again, this time higher than all what you have achieved with all the examples that we've cited. But we want you also to do your very best at the individual level, at the party level, and at any other stakeholder level, so that your contribution and my contribution put together will make us strong and continue to be the trailblazer for the rest of Africa and beyond. Don't let Ghana fade away. Because when Ghana fades away, we fade away with it. but let us do our best and fade away, because life is a stage, and when we show up at the stage, at a point, we have to give way so that the next generation will follow and Ghana will continue, so that we will have said in history that we did not disappoint. Your Excellency, once again, my colleagues from the National Election Security Task Force want to assure the generality of Ghanaians that they should relax, and I mean relax, and be a Ghanaian and a full Ghanaian and be proud of yourself. That this one, it will be better than all the elections that has passed, if only you help us to play our role as we are doing, and also do yours. I thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Our officials are committed to doing their part. They are asking for our support to make sure everything goes well. We have to relax. All right. It's time now to hear from the NDC and NPP presidential candidates. And I'm going to call first on His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, former President of the Republic of Ghana and presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the Chief Justice, Her Ladyship, Justice Gertrude Tokonu, the Chairman of the National Peace Council, Reverend Dr. Ernest Edujempi, and allow me to proceed on the protocol that has been well established in order to save time. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and fellow citizens, I've come here today to place on record my personal commitment and that of my party, the National Democratic Congress, to the sustenance of Ghana's peace. At the very outset, let me indicate that we in the NDC remain eternally committed to the building of a peaceful and prosperous country in which the aspirations of all our people can be met. Our active participation in this event is an indication of its importance in the overall effort to guarantee peace and ensure the preservation of our nation in the aftermath of the upcoming elections. We cannot emphasize enough the importance of maintaining peace throughout this process, before, during, and after. Peace is the foundation upon which our democracy is built, and it is essential that we preserve it even during these critical times. We're all too aware of the devastating consequences of electoral violence in other countries. We cannot afford to traverse that same path. As patriotic citizens, we have a collective responsibility to ensure that our country remains a beacon of peace and stability in our sub-region, and we in the NDC stand prepared to play our parts to achieve this. As citizens, we must recognize that our actions have consequences. While some verbal jousting is to be expected in our daily politicking, divisive language, hate speech, and inflammatory rhetoric that can incite violence should have no place. Temperance, tolerance, understanding, and respect for one another's opinions and beliefs should be the guiding principle upon which our politics is practiced. On our part, as political leaders, we must prioritize peace and unity in our campaigns and avoid unsubstantiated allegations and focus on issue-based campaigning. We must compete on ideas and not on insults. To our security agencies, I commend you for your tireless efforts in maintaining law and order, and I urge you to remain impartial and professional in your duties, ensuring that all citizens can exercise their rights to vote without fear or intimidation. To our media practitioners, I encourage you to promote balanced and accurate reporting, and we must avoid misleading the electorate by deceiving them that some parties are going to vote on one day and others are going to vote on another day. We must avoid sensationalism and speculation and focus on providing credible information that promotes peace and understanding. I also wish to commend the Electoral Commission for the cooperation we have enjoyed so far, and it is my hope that all electoral officers will conduct themselves in a manner that is impartial and neutral in order to avoid any disputes. However, it is all well and good for us to commit to peace and recite beautiful platitudes. All the efforts at building peace before, during, and after the 2024 elections would come to naught or be undermined if there is mistrust and insincerity. Mistrust is built through a mismatch between words and gaslighting on the part of those in authority. There is reason to be concerned that the signing of this pact, though well-intentioned, could amount to nothing if it is not followed by concrete actions to guarantee the peace by the stakeholders and government. Events and happenings during the last election and during the Awaso West Wuogon by-election create considerable doubts about the genuineness of some of the commitments that we might make today. We all recall the appalling spectacle of masked men acting on the orders of operatives of government, shooting indiscriminately at innocent Ghanaians, going about their legitimate electoral activity during that by-election. Some of the victims of that shooting incident remain incapacitated up till now. The refusal by government to act on the recommendations of the Emil Short Committee do not inspire confidence in Ghanaians that government truly believes in peace. Again, the inaction of government in the face of the murder of 8 of our citizens during the last election casts a shadow of doubt on government's commitment to maintain the peace. How are we to believe that such killings will not reoccur during this election as well? There also remains the vexed question of the use of thugs dressed in security service uniforms to intimidate and brutalize citizens during elections. How can we tell these thugs from the professional members of the security services, especially when they carry no name tags and they conceal their faces with facial masks, popularly called Azugu masks? I would suggest to the IGP to instruct the arrest and detention of any such persons during the election and to be kept until the election is over. These are legitimate questions that must satisfactorily be accounted for to give true meaning to this peace pact, lest it remains just a piece of paper. We in the NDC have in the recent past expressed the above reservations, and we look forward to hearing conclusively on the steps taken to address these. In conclusion, let us all pledge to promote peace during these elections. Let us work together to create an environment that is conducive for free, fair, and peaceful elections. We owe it to ourselves, to our children and future generations to preserve the peace and stability that our dear country Ghana has enjoyed for so long. God bless our homeland Ghana. I thank you.
Thank you for your remarks, former President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Now I would like to call on His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana and presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party.
Thank you very much. Eminent clergy, the National Chief Imam Sheikh Dr. Osman Nuhu Shaributu, His Excellency the former President John Dramani Mahama, Her Ladyship Justice Gertrude Araba Esaba Saki Tokono, His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Ibn Chambers, African Union High Representative for Silencing Guns, Mrs. Jean Adukwe Mensah, Chair of the Electoral Commission, presidential candidates here present, the Reverend Ernest Edujemfi, Board Chairman of the National Peace Council, Mr. George Amo, Executive Secretary of the National Peace Council, Dr. Emmanuel Akwete, Executive Director of IDEC, Dr. George Akufo-Dampare, the IGP, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Nime, Name, Nananum, traditional rulers, distinguished invited guests, friends of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Since the dawn of the Fourth Republic in the early 90s, Ghana has been a model democracy and an inspiration to many across the African continent and beyond. This feat is not by chance. It is due to the continuous efforts of our leaders, institutions, and citizens who understand the value of peace as the bedrock of national progress. In this light, it is fitting for us to show appreciation to the National Peace Council, the Institute of Democratic Governance, IDEC, and all who worked tirelessly to ensure we are here today. As we acknowledge the efforts of others, we must also endeavor to contribute our due. That is why the signing of the 2024 Presidential Peace Pact is profoundly significant. Every general election in Ghana since 1992 has had its own dynamics, and the stakes are always high. But we have never turned our backs on democracy, because that is the path we have chosen for ourselves, and it is the right way to go. Admittedly, democracy goes beyond periodic elections. However, in relatively young democracies like ours, every election presents an opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to the Constitution and the rule of law. So far, each time we head to the polls, we have passed the test. We have shown that it is possible to rise above our differences and unite for the sake of our country. As we head into the December 2024 polls, the 9th presidential election in Ghana, 9 days from today, I am certain of two outcomes. Ghana will win and peace will reign. We have been here before and can prove again that Ghana is a shining example of a resilient democracy. As we approach the home stretch for the elections 2024, my plea to everybody involved in the electioneering process, including candidates, political parties, electoral officers, voters, the media, security, and the general public, is to take responsibility for ensuring peace and harmony seriously, and to demonstrate that we are not reluctant Democrats. My hope, and that of the MPP, is that we will come out of this election stronger as a nation. We are hopeful all sides will take some positive steps to preserve the unity, peace, and stability of this country. We owe our people, particularly the teeming youth, that duty of care. Only in this way would our resolve to create better and enduring opportunities for this future and for the future generations be guaranteed. The eyes of the world are on Ghana. The world is watching, hoping Ghana will rise again to the occasion, stand tall, and shine bright as the star of Africa. I am full of hope that all of us leaders and our followers will live up to the peace pact we are going to sign today. And I encourage the security services who are doing an excellent job, and the media and all stakeholders to do all they can to ensure and preserve the peace. I would like to end by emphasizing that the only reason we seek power is to use it to deliver prosperity to the people of this country. I therefore wholeheartedly pledge my commitment to working within the rules and to collaborate with all to ensure a peaceful election. I extend love to all my opponents and invite them to let us collectively show love to the people of Ghana by embracing civil and peaceful approaches during every phase of the electioneering process. Finally, I would like to share this quote from Mahatma Gandhi, and I quote, "The day the power of love overrules the love for power, the world will know peace. I stand for peace and development. Peace is possible." Thank you for your attention. God bless you, and God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Before we proceed, I would like to acknowledge some dignitaries. We have the British High Commissioner. Thank you, Madam, for being here. The US Embassy is also here. Thank you, sir. The Korean Embassy. Embassy of Peru. The Dean of the Diplomatic Corps. Thank you. Australian High Commission. The Royal Netherlands Embassy. The Danish Embassy. The European Delegation in Ghana. the Japanese Embassy, USAID, IRI, NDI, ECOWAS Embassy in Ghana, thank you, Catholic Relief Services. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for making time to come to this very important ceremony. We appreciate your presence. Thank you so much. The UN Resident Representative Coordinator. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. All right. On this note, we are almost at the highlight of the event. But before we can proceed, I need to invite the Chief Justice, Gertrude Araba Esaba Saki Tokunu, to make her remarks.
Your Excellency, Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana and flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party. Your Excellency, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, former President of the Republic of Ghana and flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress. May I humbly acknowledge all distinguished presidential candidates herein present. Your Excellency, Dr. Mohammed Ibn Chambers, Reverend Dr. Ernest Edujemfi, Chairman of the National Peace Council, and all distinguished persons herein present. I wish to express the appreciation of the judiciary and the Judicial Service of Ghana to the conveners of this significant meeting for the extraordinary vision and effort made to seal the peaceful conduct and completion of the 2024 elections with a commitment to peaceful resolution of all issues arising from the said elections through the signing of this Presidential Elections Peace Pact 2024. By operation of Chapter 11 of the 1992 Constitution, the judiciary carries the constitutional obligation to administer the tenets of justice articulated by the good people of Ghana through the sources of law established under Chapter 4 of the 1992 Constitution. In order to effectively discharge this mandate within the context of national elections, the Chief Justices of this country have led the judiciary to take 4 significant steps since 2008. First, the judiciary has a standing elections management committee led by Supreme Court justices to prepare a one-stop compendium on the procedural rules that must be followed in the conduct of election-related disputes. Jurisprudence on principles and edicts established in Ghana's unique common law, and all relevant statutes that guide the process of elections. This compendium is referred to as the Elections Manual. Second, the Elections Management Committee and the Judicial Training Institute carry the responsibility of conducting orientation and in-depth training for all magistrates and judges across the country to ensure adequate preparation for adjudication of election-related disputes. Third, through the Rules of Court Committee set up pursuant to Article 157 of the 1992 Constitution, the rules used by all levels of court are regularly reviewed for the incorporation and amendment of provisions that will enhance more efficient resolution of electoral disputes. Fourth, the doors of the judiciary are thrown open for consultation with all stakeholders in the conduct of peaceful elections, and their views are given critical consideration and factored into the development of each edition of the Elections Manual, the orientation and training of magistrates and judges, and the review of the rules of court. By the grace of God, stakeholders have used judicial systems countrywide to settle electoral disputes, including 2 presidential election disputes, signifying the cohesion of the nation around the work of the justice sector. In the past 2 years, the judiciary and judicial service have meticulously gone through the 4-tiered approach to preparation for elections, and the 5th edition of the Elections Manual has been enhanced into a 3-volume guide to give it even broader content and make it more user-friendly. This 3-volume election manual was successfully launched and distributed to stakeholders present on 31st October 2024. This afternoon, there are many copies available here. I stand here to assure all stakeholders, including the international community, that the judiciary is extremely alert to the high stakes for national cohesion and stability invoked by competitive elections. We are therefore guided by every principle of national interest to give high priority to the resolution of disputes that can affect the stability of the democratic process. We note that by operation of law, conventions of diplomacy, and social adherence, the signatories of the Presidential Elections Peace Pact 2024 have not only expressed their leadership commitment to the peace and stability of Ghana, but have given a binding and irrevocable undertaking that becomes the standard for national collaboration around their efforts to win the mandate of the electorate in this year's election. The judiciary of Ghana is grateful for the gallant certification contained in the Presidential Elections Peace Pact 2024. I wish to assure all political parties that to the best of the ability of the justice sector and within the requisite constitutional directions, substantive rules on any electoral offense or dispute, the rules of court, and the laws of evidence, the judiciary and judicial service of Ghana will administer all processes of dispute management with efficiency and effectiveness and discharge our constitutional obligation to the good people of Ghana. Through these assurances, we express our utmost accountability to the national peace effort. Thank you very much.
Before we proceed to the highlight of the day, I would like to acknowledge the High Commissioner of Canada in Ghana. Thank you very much. All right, so now this is how we will proceed. I'm going to be calling on the presidential candidates to come up to sign the pact. I will proceed with the 2. please be patient, sir. I had very good news for you. Sir, be patient. I had news for you. Because the two candidates have already spoken, they will come and sign, after which I will call the other candidates. When they come in, they speak, and then give their commitment before signing. They will speak. You will have a chance to speak.
You speak and you sign. You speak and you sign. So,
yes.
they will speak.
This is the order of proceedings. I will first call the presidential candidates who have spoken. They will come and sign without speaking again. Then we will call the other presidential candidates to come, speak, and then sign. That was a program. Yes. All right. So we proceed. I would first like to invite the Chief Justice to come help us administer the signing of the Peace Pact. She has to go down.
She sits there. Okay. Okay, so let's go by what you have here.
All right.
And it's 2 minutes each, yeah?
Okay.
So you call them like this. And then so let them
All right.
understand that they were going to sign and speak, but now they're going to speak before they sign.
Okay.
So they will each, because of the language, they will each have
Okay.
2 minutes. We can take the mic to them.
All right. I have been prevailed upon to agree to your suggestion to speak first before everybody comes to sign. All right. On that note, if you look at our program on page 12, you have all the candidates there. I'm going to be asking for you to come up to speak in the order that you have been presented. So I would like to start with Dr. Daniel Augustus Latte Jr. of the Great Consolidated Popular Party, GCPP. In the interest of time, please be brief in your statement.
2 minutes. Well, did you give them time? 2 minutes?
2 minutes. 2 minutes, sir.
Good afternoon. His Excellency, Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the flag bearer for the NPP, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, former President of Ghana, and the flag bearer and the presidential candidate for the NDC. All protocols observed. You are looking either to be President of Ghana. And I'm here to tell you I'll do a good job. And a better job at that. Because you're all going to be domesticated when you leave here. I want to hear your voices. This country is ours. We love it. We want peace. I give regard to the IGP. I give regard also to the Electoral Commissioner. We're all here to make Ghana a better place, a lively place, and a happy place. Let's build this country. Let's be domesticated. And I repeat it, you are all domesticated today. You are looking at your new man. This country is going to change. I thank you so much.
We can have a signature. We go there to sign pipe. And then.
So, are you set for signing?
Call him. Let me come inside.
Next to speak is Mr. Hassan Abdullahi Ayariga, All People's Congress.
You stop me, I will stop. Good evening to everyone. I think I have less than 2 minutes. If I want to introduce the high table, I won't be able to speak. So let me stand on the existing protocol to say all protocol observed. First of all, we are supposed to be 13 of us, and today we are 12. One of us is gone. So soon we have forgotten about that candidate. It happens to be a 1 week ceremony. So if we could all observe 1 minute silent, just honor Madame Ekuya Danko. Please, 1 minute silent. Thank you. We are here to talk about peace. And to be very honest, if there's no equity, there's no sincerity, there's no fairness, there can't be peace. There's no justice, there can't be peace. So if we are here to talk about peace and we behave in a certain way, then you can imagine the kind of signal we are sending out there. And that is why I was not happy with the presentation. But the sincerity of the matter is that I come from Boku. My father is a Kusasi. My mother is a Mamprusi. For the past 3 years, Boku has been in war. Till date, as I speak to you, shooting all over. My father and mother fighting. And we have ignored that. We are here talking about peace. I wish we had a forum like this to talk about Boku's matter and help resolve the issue of Boku's challenges. I don't know whether I'll be able to vote, because where I come from, every day is gunshot. I've not been to Boku for the past 3 months, and I want to go and vote. I want to go and campaign, and I cannot. So it's one of the biggest problems confronting me as a flag bearer, and as a father, and as a member and as a Ghanaian. And I'm appealing that if we can look into the Boku matter, it will help us achieve peace before, during, and after the election. If you look at the table, the high table, the three major political leaders contesting, former President Mahama, current Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Hassan Ayerga, we are all Northerners. I'm coming to the main problem. There is a problem. Please, my time is, don't worry about my time. You see, Northerners, as our brothers and sisters, are always being purported to be the violent people in this country. And as a matter of fact, if you see another Northerner crying, then he's been beaten by another Northerner and nobody else. And they have been used to form some kind of vigilante groups. This is a test for us as people from the North. Are we going to demonstrate, the three leaders, our members, are we going to demonstrate a level of tolerance, level of acceptance, that we have ideas than fighting one another? Or are we going to show the world that we are more violent than any other thing? So our party members should sit up that this year we have to demonstrate to the world that the Northern brothers are together and united no matter what. And we cannot be seen as tags for any political party. We cannot be seen as troublemakers in this country. We cannot be seen as people who do not understand peace. And we must demonstrate peace before, during, and after this election. And I must admit, IGP is doing a lot of work, and we must all help. To the media, if you allow me, I'll finish quickly. To the media, I'll finish in 1 minute. To the media, to the police, to the Electoral Commission, we need a credible election. We need a free and fair election. To the police, we need support. We do not want anybody to be partisan in this election. When you are posted at the polling station, be fair to every Ghanaian, no matter which party he belongs to or comes from. And to the media, try as much as possible. Misinformation and disinformation is costing our country a lot. And we must all have a role in making sure that this country is peaceful before, during, and after the election. Ghana will win, and we will have a peaceful country. I thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. So after making your remarks, you quickly go and sign. We have right now at the table His Excellency, former President John Dramani Mahama signing the pact. He is traveling and needs to get going. Dr. Hassan Ayariga is also signing now. I would like to invite His Excellency, Dr. Madu Baumia, to also make himself available for signing, please. You are next. Okay. Next to sign will be Daniel Augustus Latte Jr.
It has worked.
As we arrange now, because the two important things have happened already.
Is this way, before this way?
Yes, but we've done this way.
I was asked to go this
So
Okay,
let's
so
go
go
this way.
All right. Okay, so the next to make his remarks will be Mr. Christian Kwabna Andrews, Ghana Union Movement. He's not here.
He's not here. You jump.
All right. He's not here, so we skip to Mr. Percival Kofi Akpalu of the Liberal Party of Ghana. Oh, the representative is here. Please come up, madam.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. My name is Eleanor Efe Apia, the Vice Presidential candidate for Reverend Christian Kwabna Andrews. I'm here to represent him. Our country, Ghana, has been with peace for so many years. We have been on elections several times. And when we talk of Ghana, our country is jealous for peace in our outside countries. We have done it before. And I will urge each and every Ghanaian to let us do it one more time. Together we stand, divided we fall. The Ghana Union Movement, we stand for peace. We call for peace. And may peace prevail. And in the end, may Ghana win. Thank you very much. My name, Eleanor Efe Apia. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Yes. His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Baumia would like to take his leave. Unfortunately, he has other engagements and has to leave, so we'll have to allow him to go ahead. Thank you, sir, for coming and for signing the pact.
So this lady who spoke, is she signing? Where is she?
She has to.
Yes, she can sign for.
Yes, madam. Madam has signed.
The lady who spoke. Yeah, she's coming.
Okay.
Was she representing Christian Kwabena?
Yes.
To who?
Christian Kwabena Andrews.
Is that it?
Yes.
So she has to sign for.
Next on the list is Mr. Kofi Akpaloo of the Liberal Party of Ghana. Sir, 2 minutes, please. 2 minutes, please, sir.
Good evening. The name is Kofi Akpaloo, the next president of Ghana. I stand on the existing protocol. This election, we are all calling for peace. There can never be peace in this country when we keep on doing what we are doing, promoting duopoly. We have to promote multi-party democracy, not duopoly or whatever you guys are doing, because it will never bring peace. The media is doing it. The Peace Council is also doing it. So how are we going to have a multi-party democracy when you discriminate in the full glare of the public? This is not right, what you did. There will be peace when we all go out and vote for Kofi Akpaloo and forget about MPP and NDC. Because when you vote for any of them, it will not bring peace. The only person that when you cast your vote on, that will bring peace is Kofi Akpaloo. God bless you all.
Thank you. Next on the list is Alhaji Mohammed Frimpong of the National Democratic Party.
Beloved compatriots, excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocol duly observed. My name is Alhaji Mohammed Frimpong, the presidential candidate for National Democratic Party, thus the people's leader. We in Ghana must appreciate our relative peace and security, because out there in the global arena there are a lot of blazing fires, and we are fortunate to have here His Excellency Dr. Ibn Chambers. I think he will agree with me that they now even have a fatigue of dousing those fires, and interventions are also very difficult to come by. What I must say is that we as presidential candidates, as a matter of fact, must go to the people who are the wielders of sovereignty and power of the nation. The people don't owe us anything except that we go to them and request and canvass for the mandate that we are seeking. It is when we do that, that at least we don't risk the lives, or better still, put the lives of our electorate in danger. They must not be on tenterhooks because we are going to them to seek their power. That is very important. Going forward, we must understand that apart from the leadership and participatory, the inclusive and participatory leadership that NDP is advocating, if that does not work, every electoral cycle will be having the same tension. That is why that there must be what we call wheels of democracy, making sure that we give power to our people at the unit level and in our communities, so they exercise their power, and in an election we go to them and seek their mandate. In that way, we will not be twisting their arms and taking their mandate. It is when political parties go, twisting the arms of the electorate to seek power, that is what is creating the tension. Definitely, NDP is committed to peace, and we would want to seek enduring peace for the nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I would like to acknowledge the president of GJA. All right, thank you. Next to come up to give her remarks is Nana Akosia from Poma Sapon Kumankuma, Convention People's Party.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. This is clearly, in 2012, I was part of the people that signed the Peace Pact. I'm here in 2024, and I just want to reiterate what I said years back. The Ghanaian is peaceful. The Ghanaian youth is peaceful. The Ghanaian woman is peaceful. All of us are a very peaceful nation, and we are very proud of that. What I have seen today, for me, is just to reiterate the fact that the Ghanaian, though being peaceful, multi-party democracy is about election, and by extension, what it means is that there is going to be people wanting to do whatever they have to do to win power. What is necessary is the institutions that have been put in place to ensure that there's fairness and there's justice. When that is eroded, no amount of peace pact will make any difference. What happened here today, I'm sorry to say, is not acceptable. Currently, I'm standing here talking on the ticket of Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of this country, who has made it possible for all of us as the Convention People's Party, who has made it possible for us to become a sovereign state, to be able to be signing Peace Pact because we have fought for independence and moving forward. And for that reason, it is very important that when we do anything in a multi-party democracy, it must be deepened. And for that reason, we should not be so biased and obviously biased to the point where people must agitate. It is the agitation that does not bring peace. So on this note, let me tell the police officers, the security officers, and everybody that's going to be part of this elections going forward. We, the candidates and the political parties, We would wish that you cheat for us. Would wish that you do what you have to do for us. Would wish that you put us as number one and ignore others. Do what you know is right. Do what you know is right, so that there'll be justice. And when there's justice and fairness, all of us will embrace the results of this election. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. I would like to acknowledge the President of the Ghana Bar Association. Thank you for being here. Next, to give his remarks is Mr. Kofi Kranting, independent candidate.
Peace I bring you were the words of the Savior Jesus Christ. We're talking about peace here today. And that is a great thing we look at. We, the Youth New Vision Movement and the team of Kofi Kranting embrace peace. However, we believe that peace can not only be considered in terms of outside motivation, but internal peace is the driving force. So we cannot talk about peace when people sleep outside. We cannot talk about peace when people are hungry. We cannot talk about peace when thousands of our youths complete school, cannot get jobs and walk the street aimlessly. We cannot talk about peace when citizens cannot wake up each morning not looking up to anything. Going into this election, we always have it in our heart that we become leaders to lead people. And for that matter, if you become a leader and everybody dies, who calls you a leader? Who would you serve? And so, as we seek to get power to lead this country, we must bear it in mind that our words, our thoughts, and our deeds actually spell out what we're looking out for. We cannot do things the same way and expect, different results. Let's embrace peace. And this peace is what New Vision Movement and the team of Kofi Kranting speaks to Ghanaians. That let's do what is expected of us as Ghanaians and embrace this peace, do everything that is in support of peace. We stand for peace, and at the end of the day, Ghana will win, and all of us will be happy. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next is Mr. George Chumbarima Edu, independent candidate.
I'll stand on all the existing protocols for time's sake. My name is George Chum. I stand on all the existing protocols. My name is George Chum Berima Edu. I also thank the organizers of this event, the Peace Council and IDEC. And I'm here because I believe that as a country, indeed, we must have peace. This is the only country which we have, and there is no other country we can go to when we spoil or destroy our country. Also, I want to urge all Ghanaians to support the efforts of the Electoral Commission and the Ghana Police and all the security agencies in the work they are doing to ensure that now till election day, we shall all act peacefully and act well, And on election day also, we shall obey all the rules of the elections and go and vote peacefully. And after that, go to our homes as the results are coming in. And it is my belief that to the glory of God, we shall all be guided in the way we want to vote, and the outcome shall bring glory to God, and Ghana shall be the winner and the ultimate winner. I thank you all again, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Thank you, sir. Next is Mr. Nana Kwame Bediako, independent candidate.
Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. I am Charles Yemakwe, the Chief Administrator of Nana Kwame Bediako. Elections are not just about choosing leaders. They are about safeguarding the foundation of our democracy and the unity of our nation. As representatives of our various political parties, we bear the responsibility to uphold peace, integrity, and the will of the people above all else. Let us remember that Ghana's greatness lies in our unity, not our divisions, in our shared values, not our differences. To our fellow politicians and supporters, let us commit to an honest process, free of violence, free of intimidation, and free of deceit. Let us debate ideas and policies, but never forget that our shared goal is the progress of Ghana. To the people of Ghana, we urge you to exercise your democratic rights with courage and conviction, knowing that your voice and your votes matter. Choose peace over conflicts, dialogue over confrontation, and truth over falsehood. Always choose Ghana first. Let us leave a legacy for the next generation, not of discord, but of unity, not of corruption, but of honor, and not of fear, but of hope. Together, let us reaffirm the spirit of Ghana, the black star of Africa. May peace guide our actions, honesty shape our journey, and may democracy prevail in its truest form. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Last on the list, but not least, is Mr. Alan John Kojo Trematin, independent candidate.
No, I think.
Please speak here. Speak here.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Akwete. Obviously, I'm not Honorable Alan Chematin. I am Nana Ohininto, Senior Advisor to Honorable Alan John Kojo Chematin, who is the independent candidate moving by the Movement for Change and the Alliance for Revolutionary Change. I want to thank the organizers, the Peace Council, and all the stakeholders for this very important convocation. The issue is peace, specifically related in this occasion, on this occasion, to 2024 December 7 elections, before, during, and after. I've had to represent Honorable Alan Chematin on one or two platforms relating to the subject of peace, and I have his mandate and total commitment to communicate to you
his unequivocal and unconditional commitment to peace during, before, during, and after the election. Those who know Honorable Alan Kyerematen in Ghana politics would attest that any time the occasion had demanded that he make sacrifices in the supreme interest of his former party, the NPP, or the nation, he has always done so. So his message to us here is that commitment to peace is not a matter of signing a piece of paper, which is good. But commitment to peace ought to be demonstrated in the things, not just what we say, but what we do. Obviously, the record is there that this is about the fourth time we are signing a peace treaty in the Fourth Republic connected to elections. But we cannot forget some of the incidents that have already been relayed to us relating to violence and a breach of the peace. In that connection, Alan wants to state that we are all responsible for our peace, but there are specific individuals and agencies that bear greater responsibility, and we don't have to overlook that. First is the government. Second is the security services. Third, the Electoral Commission. And fourth, the media, of course, all of us. Alan would want us to plead with the state agencies, and I've mentioned some of them, that during the election in particular and on election day, the IGP and the Security Task Force have outlined the security protocols. But we have seen protocols like this outlined, announced, but government agencies, government representatives on election day will seek to subvert and to undermine those protocols. Peace, of course, is predicated on justice and fairness. Alan is committed to peace, but we call on the key stakeholders, the frontline stakeholders, to also, according to the assurance that we have received from the IGP, to perform their roles and functions to the satisfaction of all, not to the advantage of the state incumbent party, as sometimes happens. To that extent, I want to reiterate Honorable Alan John Kojo Kyerematen and his movement for change and the Alliance for Revolutionary Change are absolutely and totally committed to the peace of our nation before, during, and after this election. I thank you.
Thank you, sir. And so we've come to the end of the signing of the Presidential Elections Peace Pact 2024, with the last signature going on there. The witnesses, okay. The witnesses, IGP Dampare, if you would please present yourself to witness the signing. I don't see. Next witness is the Executive Director of IDEG, Dr. Emmanuel O. Akwete. And the last witness is Chairman of the National Peace Council, Reverend Dr. Ernest Edu-Jemfi. Finally, Madam Chief Justice, thank you so much. Please, let's clap. We are most grateful to all the presidential candidates and their representatives who have signed the pact, and also to the witnesses who have made this possible. We are very grateful for this opportunity to be here today to witness this great event. Thank you all so very much. In the interest...